Statement 1 is not correct. Government has recently launched 2 new World Bank-supported schemes of Rs. 6,655 crore. Skills Acquisition and Knowledge Awareness for Livelihood Promotion SABNAALP and Skill Strengthening for Industrial Value Enhancement STRIVE. SABNAALP is a centrally sponsored scheme including Rs. 3,300 crore loan support from World Bank, whereas STRIVE is a Rs. 2,200 crore central sector scheme, with half of the scheme outlay as World Bank loan assistance. Statement 2 is correct. STRIVE scheme is aimed at strengthening FIDUS by incentivizing them to improve overall performance, including apprenticeship by involving SMEs, business association and industry clusters. It will support universalization of National Skills Qualification Framework and SQF, including National Quality Assurance Framework and QAF across the skill development schemes of central and state governments, thus ensuring standardization in skill delivery, content and training output. SABNAALP is aimed at building a pool of quality trainers and assessors. It envisages setting up of trainers and assessors academies with self-sustainable models. The schemes shall leverage such institutions for training the trainers in both long and short term, thereby bringing about convergence. Additional trainer academies shall be set up on the basis of identified sectoral and geographical gaps. 13 www.visionative.in copyright Vision IACE Q45.c. All the statements are correct. The Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, the IDP, is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. It is responsible for the overall industrial policy. It monitors the industrial growth in general and performance of industries specifically assigned to it, in particular, including advice on all industrial and technical matters. The department is also responsible for formulation of foreign direct investment FDI policy, facilitating and increasing the FDI inflow in the country. The department is also responsible for intellectual property rights relating to patents, designs, trademarks and geographical indication of goods, and oversees the initiative relating to their promotion and protection. Q46.b. The Constitution provides for reservation of seats in the Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes and not OBCs. This provision was made initially for a period of 10 years and, as a result of successive constitutional amendments, has been extended up to 2020. The Parliament can't take a decision to further extend it when the period of reservation expires. The number of seats reserved for both of these groups is in proportion to their share in the population of India. Today, of the 543 elective seats in the Lok Sabha, 79 are reserved for scheduled castes and 41 are reserved for scheduled tribes. Hence, Statement 1 is not correct and Statement 2 is correct. Q47.c. Statements 1 and 2 are not correct. E-Way Bill is an electronically generated document required for the movement of good valuing more than 50,000. It is to be generated online for transportation of goods. The E-Way Bill generated in any state shall be valid in every state and union territory of India. E-Way Bill operations are compulsory for interstate movement of goods throughout the nation. E-Way Bill operations have been made compulsory for interstate movement of goods in states such as Arunachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Meghalaya, Puducherry and Sikkim. Statement 3 is correct. Every E-Way Bill generated by a sender or buyer of goods is to automatically updated in the outward sales return of the supplier, leaving little scope for tax evasions on shipments. This is in contrast to previous scenario where tax officials had to manually cross-check the E-Way Bill with the tax returns filed to verify if all the consignments came within the tax net. In addition, E-Way Bill has following benefits. It will do away with the need to any tax office or check post for generation of E-Way Bill and movement of goods across states. The requirement of a single bill will help in saving tons of paperwork and sidestep various interstate clearances for buyers, sellers and transporters. It will also lead to zero waiting time at check posts and faster movement of goods, thereby ensuring optimum use of vehicles/resources. It has inbuilt automatic checks and balances for smooth tax administration and process simplification. These all will help in promoting ease of doing business. Q48.b. The endogenic and exogenous forces causing physical stresses and chemical action on Earth materials and bringing about changes in the configuration of the surface of the Earth are known as geomorphic processes. Diastrophism and volcanism are endogenic geomorphic processes. Weathering, mass wasting, erosion and deposition are exogenous geomorphic processes. Q49.8 The CRPPP is a new free trade agreement between Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Singapore and Vietnam. Once the CRPPP enters into force, it will be one of the largest free trade agreements in the world and will provide enhanced market access to key Asian markets. The Trans-Pacific Partnership was originally concluded on October 5, 2015, by 12 countries. 14 www.visionadas.in Copyright Vision IAS. Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Singapore, the United States, and Vietnam. On January 30, 2017, the United States notified TPP signatories of its intention to not ratify the TPP, effectively withdrawing from the TPP. Hence, option A is correct. Q50.E The Third Battle of Panikat took place on January 14, 1761 between the Marathas under Sadaship Ripa Shah and the Afghans under Ahmad Shah Abdali. The Afghan victory was complete and the Maratha casualties were very heavy, estimated at 75,000. The number of factors were responsible for the defeat of the Marathas and victory of Ahmad Shah Abdali. 1. Abdali's forces outnumbered the forces under the command of Bhog. Abdali's army has been estimated at 60,000 while the Maratha combatants did not exceed 45,000. 2. Near famine conditions prevailed in the Maratha camp at Panikat. The road to Delhi was cut off. There was no food for men and no fodder for the horses. On the other hand, the Afghans kept their supply lines open with the Doab and the Delhi region. In fact, famine conditions in the Maratha camp compelled Bhog Shah to precipitate the action of attack. 3. While all the Muslim powers of northern India rallied to the side of Abdali, the Marathas had to fight alone. The overbearing attitude of the Marathas and their policy of indiscriminate plunder had estranged not only the Muslim powers but the Hindu powers like the Jats and the Rajputs. Even the Sikhs, the deadly enemies of the Afghans, did not help the Marathas. The other factors were the existence of mutual jealousies among the Maratha chiefs, the strict discipline